Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. And bright eye and bushy tail. Well, we got 10 questions for people here. What happened to the rest of you? Have you shrunk? Is it so hard to show up on Saturday at 1 p.m.? All right, then. Let's see who is here. Kao Ray says, Hi, Meran, 26 male, India. Hello there. And let me say hello to everyone, and I'll come back to Kao's first question. And Seb is here, says hello. Hello, Seb. Let us know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from, please. That's a part of the protocol for us to know each other while you're here. SNG says, Aloha, General. Oh my goodness, aloha from my hometown, from my beloved country area. I miss Hawaii so much. It's like I miss my heart. That's how much I love Hawaii, specifically Maui. That's where I belong. That's where my home is, my adopted home. And he says, male 34, Manchester. Oh my goodness, Manchester, you pulled my leg. I thought the aloha means you're in Hawaii. Manchester. Oh, I know who this is. SNG. Now you pulled my leg. Sid, where the hell have you been? I actually thought of you a few days ago, and I said, okay, he must be out of trouble and he must be good. Now I know. SNG, you changed the call ladder, I guess. So male 34 Manchester, just wanted to say hi. It has been a while. Yes, it has. It sure has. I hope everything is going well for you. Delighted to hear that you are here. At least give us a little hello, and hope all would be just as you planned and expected to be. Now we go to Steven. Steven says hello, Meran. Hello, Steven. Steven, male 42, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. And then we have Defender of Justice. And who would that be? I sometimes don't remember your screen names and I can't put it together. Anyhow, it says, Hi, Meran, 39 male here. Here? What do you mean here? Here you mean Vancouver, or here means you are 39 male? And what about the location? Or should I guess? So this time is not okay. We'll go back. We'll come back to you as soon as I finish saying hello. And I have Aaron. No, I have excessively. This is Ricardo Male 55, Oakland, California. Oh, thank you very much. Oakland. Yeah, I was in Oakland many, many years ago. My aunt was in the hospital and she passed away. I was very young. I mean, compared to now. And yeah, I remember that. Oakland. Hmm. So now we have Aaron Suishmez. Am I butchering your name again? You got to teach me how to pronounce this. Aaron says, Hello, Meran. I have this problem that I'm okay. We'll get back to that. We're just saying hello right now. And Seb says, male 18 Cyprus. Thank you for that. And what do I know? Okay. And Yeah, SNG says, yes, Marin, this is Sid. Yeah, I got that. Aaron, will come back to your question as soon as I finish saying it. Tatiana Valdez is here. That's a interesting mixture of name. Tatiana, to me, represents a maybe a Russian or Eastern country's name, which is a beautiful name. And Valdez represents to me South American last name. Could be, I don't know, Costa Rican, Mexico, Spanish, somewhere in South America, I guess. Spanish is in Europe, of course. But so, and then we have, says Tatiana 23 Los Angeles. All right. Thank you for that. And Sid says, yes, everything is going well by General Mayron's grace and wisdom. Okay, thank you for that. Remind me to send you $5 for that advertisement. And I appreciate it. And Naz is here. Naz is from Iran, 47 years old, 47 years young. Hello, Naz. Good to see you here, dear. I wish there was a system that I could see all your faces when we're talking. In fact, my programmer is putting a additional feature on my site. You all know that I have a site. It's mindthatseekstruth.com, www.mindthatseekstruth.com. This is when you guys didn't have enough on the live stream, or it wasn't enough time for me to address all your questions in detail. As you know, this program is just to help you as much as I can in the couple of hours that we spend together. But for detailed discussions and chat, you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment for detailed discussion on what's concerning you one on one on Skype. And so, where was I? Where did I get here? I have no idea. Yeah, I have my programmer putting a feature on my site where you can all actually, instead of one on one discussion, which could be expensive for some people around the world, you can have a group session. So maybe 10 or 15 maximum people at the same time. And I will increase the time to maybe 2 or 3 hours so everybody gets a chance to have a few questions in. And the fee would be much less. So it would be more affordable for everybody. We have lots of things free on this channel. 3,000 videos on the channel. You can search and see what you're looking for in having to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, mechanical process, order in life. And then we go into breakups and relationships. What are the reasons for your devastations? How you can manage the whole thing, how you can go on with your life and bring that balance and happiness back to yourself. What are things you should do? What are things you shouldn't do? As an advice, as something to consider. And then we expand our videos in regards to things such as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and then OCD subsets such as HOCD, harm OCD, pedophile OCD, whatever it is that has to do with the component of the brain's malfunction. And we try to clear that up as a knowledge base for you to know what are the reasons and what is happening in the brain, and to understand that you're not the brain and brain is not you. So you will treat the brain as an organ rather than you, as it is not you. Because, as you know, for a million years we survived without having this sophisticated brain. And only 40,000 years ago, we got to have this brain that is actually very helpful for our negotiation of our challenges and what we want to accomplish in this life, but also is a devil's, double-edged sword, which is the roots of all problems because it helps us to be able to speak and think, and thinking are the roots of all problems. I mean, thoughts, not thinking. There's some good things about it. So we talk about the research and the point of views, philosophical point of views by, let's say, Aristotle 10,000 years ago in regards to dualism and materialism, and then we go on from there to scientific backgrounds of researchers, of um, brilliant surgeons and neuroscientists such as Dr. Penfield, Dr. Sperry, Dr. Leibert, Dr. Owens, and we talk about all these findings and the experiences in the laboratory and help us to understand the glitches that we realize in the brain, and it comes out in the form of OCD. It is not you, and what it is, and what are the components involved, from the amygdala to striatum, where a reward center and the goal finding center and habit center resides, and caudate nucleus, which is the lever to shut down the intrusive thoughts when they show up, knowing that it's against your values, and then of course prefrontal cortex, and all their roles in the glitch and the misery that this OCD gives us all, which over all 8 and so billion people in the world, they all have some kind of intrusive thoughts and OCD, which is all about the glitch and malfunction of the signaling system of the brain and not yourself. So, having said all that, you now know what the channel is all about. And if your questions are not answered in detail here, you can always go on my site and make an appointment. I will discuss what's concerning you one on one on Skype. Now we have Lygia here. Oh, hello, Lygia. We had our meeting just a couple of days ago, didn't we? And Lygia says, I set an one on one appointment for next year. Oh, did you now? All right, fair enough. I will get back to you as soon as we finish the our program today, and I will confirm with you on Skype, and we'll hash it out the exact time for that. Who else we have here? And we have Ravi Kumar C. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Says, hi, Meran, 30 male India. Hello, dear. So let's go back to the first question. Kau Ray says, recently went through a devastating breakup. Oh, how devastating is it? Like, can you breathe? Can you breathe? Can you answer me? Can you breathe? Can you walk? Can you think? Can you talk? Can you drink water? Well, basically, that's all you need to survive: water, food, and sleep. Can you sleep? So it's not really as devastating as you think, but it is something that is not welcomed. I understand that. So let's get the record straight. It is not devastating. The words that you guys use during the day, it has a meaning. The meaning makes you to react to it in emotional way and a physical way. And that is a reaction to the meaning of a word that was used by you, which there is no higher level of trust other than yourself. When you utter a word, it has a meaning. The meaning will affect you as truth and fact and belief, and that will allow you to react in a certain way, emotionally or physically. So be aware of the words that you use to describe your life, as even your life is not what you describe, you will end up being like that because you said it, you believed it, you think of it, and that's how it's going to form your approach to life on a day-to-day basis. So, number one, it is not devastating because life did not start with this girl, or what are you, a boy or a girl? Male. Okay. Life did not start with this relationship with this girl, and it will not stop without her. Life will go on. You just happen to be on that zone and see her and interact with her and then like her, love her, lust for her. And then if she wasn't, it could have been somebody else. Then you would have think, oh, that's the reason for your devastation. No, it had a duration. It was one. It was wonderful. And now it's not. Okay. Thank you very much. You learned something. But it's not the end of the world because life continues and the world doesn't give a shit what you're going through. So if you allow this relationship destroy your life and make it devastating as you think it is, you can't work, you can't study, you can't even get out of bed. Then it's going to be devastating. So it's not devastating on its own, but when you dub it devastating, then your life becomes like that. A day that you don't feel good and you can't, you feel like you're hopeless and you're sad for whatever reason, relationship or challenges of life or your parents or your family or whatever it is, the challenge. That's the day you got to get up, pull your pants up, start whatever you can do as far as it's a positive action. If it's vacuuming your home, clean it up. If it's washing the floors, do that. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it's something that you've been neglecting and it needs to be done to get done and you will get it done. And at the end of the day, be it also small things, you will feel amazing. You will feel hopeful. You will feel capable. You will feel that I can deal with damn shits that is happening in life. And that little opening is the gateway to a bigger and better outlook to life, which is going to guide you through all the challenges and you become an expert in dealing with what it is that might be affecting you in life in general. So, having said that, let's see what we have. So, sorry about that. All right. Some appointments that I can't deal with it now. Okay, now we have second. Who's the second one? Kau still says, I'm in a. Okay, let's read the rest of this question. So I went through a devastating breakup on this December 2022. That was like 4 or 5 months ago. GF got married to someone else. Good written. Because if she's getting married to someone else, why would you want someone that doesn't want you? Why would you ever want to be with someone who has preferred to get married to someone else? What for? What's between her legs that makes you feel so devastated? Is there gold somewhere there, or is it your life depends on it, or you're going to pay your rent by just being with her? What happens? Your responsibilities and duties are still going to remain the same, whether she's with you or not. And now that she's not with you, you still got to attend to the same things that you would have if you guys were still together. But the most important thing is you're still as capable as ever before when she was with you. You haven't changed. Your powers are the same. Only the fact that you still desire someone who doesn't want to be with you is the problem. Not that she has left. The problem is not that she has left. The problem is you. Why would you want someone who doesn't want to be with you? There's no shortage of people. That's one. Now, and she got married to someone else, even after being in a relationship with me. Yeah, of course. What do you think? What do you think she was born and saying, "Oh, I'm glad I'm born. I'm going to be married to Carl Ray, no matter what." No, she doesn't know. She has no commitment to you, and she makes her decisions the way she likes, as you do. She was with you for whatever reason, she decided to not to be with you anymore. That's her right, as it is your right. What if you didn't like her? What if she was doing something that you didn't like? What if she had her finger up her nose all the time? Or she was itching herself all the or she didn't meet your values. Huh? What about her lifestyle? Are you still supposed to be with her? And if you leave her, that's a bad thing. You don't have that right. Well, I'm not saying that your finger was in your nose all the time. Of course not. But I was saying that there are differences between people that is not obvious at the get go, at the beginning. But through time, relationships, being in contact with each other, negotiating daily life, seeing how you behave in the natural daily life events, even if you guys go for coffee or tea, after a while, you get to know each other's consciousness, the content of the consciousness. That's what we are. We are the content of the consciousness. And this consciousness have been trained in far different ways between any two people. Even if you're comparing yourself with your sibling, it would have been different because each consciousness, um, real estate, the weaves of each consciousness responds to the same event differently than the other person would respond. But that's just the way the algorithm of each brain is. It's not going to be the same response in every brain. Depends how that brain was conditioned, what things it was exposed to, what role models it had, what knowledge it has, what reactions and characteristic it has. So, over time, you will get to know the content of each other's consciousness, which then you can say, we know about each other. But just being in a relationship, sleeping together, having fun together, that doesn't mean that you're compatible. That doesn't mean that you actually know each other. It comes through time, how you treat each other, how you treat yourself, how your relationship with life is, what are your commitments in life, and how you go about them. Eventually you get to know about each other through time passing and interacting with each other every day. Then you will know if you love her, if she loves you. Then you know if you guys are compatible. Because the word love is not as it seems to be. You say, I love her. Do you love her? Or do you love what she does for you? She says she loves you. Does she love you? Or she loves what you do for her? It's two different things. So most people love each other, but that's lust because they feel excited, they feel aroused, they feel desired, they feel that they are with someone that they desire, and it makes them chemically, emotionally, physically excited and vibrant. And they consider that love. But love is in the consciousness level. What you feel is an attraction, physical attraction, and lust, which it gives you enough time and invitation for two people to get to know each other during the time that they lust for each other. And if they are successful in that time to get to know each other's consciousness, then they got something and they may fall in love. And that could be a foundation for a somewhat lasting relationship, however it lasts. And if it doesn't, well, that's okay and normal too, because we're dynamically changing in our consciousness. And what we think and understand and desire and want and wish and seek today is based on the values and the content of our consciousness, which is dynamically changing. And in time, you may have change into a different consciousness and different values, different expectations, different things that you can offer. And that may or may not be palatable to the other person, or the other person's accomplishments or evolvement, advancement, or changes may not be palatable to you. And that's the time that the relationship ends. Why? Because the relationship pretty much solidifies and ends in the consciousness. And since the consciousness changing, that relationship is also subject to changes. Hmm? So all things that you're telling me is part of life. What's the big deal? You don't sleep with her, life is over? You die? Your parents die? The whole country, where are you from? India? India destroys? No. There's still going to be garbage people in the world as they are today, trying to take over people's freedom and deprive them from all their rights. And there's still going to be good people around. And there's still going to be opportunities for business and all that, and the fun and everything's still there. There's going to be other girls, and for the girls, there's going to be other guys. It's about management of life. It's not about definitely must have this, otherwise it's not worth it. Well, when you were born in this world, you didn't know what you're going to get or not going to get. You didn't know what makes this world go around. You didn't know what makes this life worth it. You just were happy to be here. That's the attitude that you should continue, because it was one of the things that you would meet in your journey, this relationship. And then there will be others. As the fact that you didn't know this relationship would ever happen, you also don't know what other relationship would happen, which would infatuate you and you would love it. So be patient and don't curse it and cuss it and call it devastating. For what? I can't be between her legs, so I'm devastated. Is that all you're for? Is that all you're made out of? Is that all you're good for? That's it? Sex? And that tells you you're good or bad. And if you can't have her, you're no good. That's really a lopsided value system, isn't it? All right. Having said that, let's go on to what? Kao says, I'm in a healing stage now, trying to accept the situation. What healing stage? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. Stop this bullshit. I gotta get healed. Healed for what? You were with a girl, you do not you don't like her anymore, she doesn't like you anymore, whatever the hell. Who cares? Next. Heal from what? Stop this using these words in your brain. You think actually you're sick. Not accept trying to focus on my studies, need your suggestion to beat this. You don't need to beat it, because nothing is beating you, only you, your words and your thinking. Open your eyes. There's so many beautiful women out there. So many amazing, educated, deep thinkers, women out there. So many accomplished women, unselfish, wonderful, amazing. And you have thought this whole world is summed up into one relationship and one woman's vagina. That's it. Otherwise, the world is just upside down. If I can't have that, nothing else worth it. Really? Nothing in this world worth other than being with her? Think about it. What if they would say, you can be with this girl, but your father dies? A good price to pay. Because you say nothing worth more than that. But I bet you say, no, I can't do that. How about they say if your mother should go, but then you can be with her? No, you say. How about your child? You don't have a child. Your siblings. How about your dog? No, love is love. How about your job? How about everything else? Everything has its own place, but you can't give a bigger number to one over the other stuff. So she's important. She was important in your life, and that was a good experience. That's it. It's not the whole entirety of life. If you treat life the way you just did, then the world, the universe will not be kind to you, because this guy is an idiot. He thinks that's all what this life has to offer. That's it. And if he has it, he's made it. If he doesn't, then he's devastated. That's not the way you should think. All right, let's go on to next. Stephen, okay. Defender of Justice says, hi, Miran. 39 male here. And where's here, Defender of Justice? Did you mention that? No, you didn't, did you? All right. All right. I would like to know where you located, Defender of Justice. Defender of Justice. Is that Emmanuel by any chance? Spain? No, perhaps not. Anyhow, he says, so this time it's not about a woman. I took a truck driving license test today and failed, even though I know the material because I was very nervous. How do I move on from shame? I'll tell you how you move on from shame. Go get your helmet on, because I'm going to get my ugly stick and beat the crap out of you, because that's a stupid way of talking about how your life is and how your successes or failures, so to speak. It's not a failure. You just didn't pass the test. What's got to do with failure? Hmm? It's like going to the bathroom and trying to poo and say, well, I couldn't, I was constipated. Oh, I failed to poo. What the hell does that mean? Just means you got to go have some greeneries and some, laxative, and then they'll fine. Same thing. You got to go just maybe be less nervous and focus on what it is that the question is rather than to impress and pass the test. You were there thinking about that. I got to do everything I can do to pass the test. You weren't focusing on what the respond to this question is or to this maneuver is or whatever it is. If it was written or it was driving, I don't know. But it just means you got to be a little bit more focused when you're studying it rather than trying to memorize it. Try to understand and visualize the circumstance and the scenario that is in the question, trying to describe to you what you do and how you should do it on a certain circumstance. Visualize it, see it, imagine the question, and then remember the solution to it. So then the question is not something a frightening for you. It would be something that you will be solving because you have knowledge about what to do in this circumstance, and you just explain it. But you're trying to guess, or because you didn't study it hard enough, or you didn't, or you were nervous, as you say, which is very common thing. What's the failure? Why you want somebody to constantly pat you on the back? You're good. Listen, you fucked up. Okay, do better next time. That's all. Be a man. Let me have a sip of this. Mm, lovely. Today we're having roasted dandelion root, which is very good for you. So I highly recommend. Next, we have mhm. So Stephen Lowe says, I was at work the other night and didn't feel motivated. I think maybe it was getting to me a little. Feel like I need a break. Stephen, you're not a donkey or a horse. I mean, even they are not sometimes motivated. We're human beings. We could get up in the morning and feel the whole world is trampling on our heads for whatever reason. That it could be as small as something, or it could be just worried about something. Yesterday, I got up and I that wasn't, feeling the bright eye and bushy tail as I always do. Why? I knew why. I visited my mom at the care center, and for the first time, I noticed when I looked into her eyes, she's old. She wasn't confident about her cognitive abilities. She would forget things. And when we were talking with her and with the lady who was her helper that visits her every day, she said, I don't follow exactly what you guys say. And she needed clarification. I looked into her eyes. So that was the reason for how I was feeling. And I suggest whenever you feel that way, you got to pull your socks up and get up and start doing very menial things but positive things. Something that makes you feel like you're focusing on something positive because that is not going to help you emotionally. It's going to really affect you. And then it's going to affect everything else that you're supposed to accomplish on that day. So there is no use to it. It's just a fact that I had to face with it. And I usually try to be helpful as I can, but not so focus on the concerns of the moment in such situations. But once in a while, you dive into that moment and you're sucked in and you remember all the wonderful things that she did for you, your parents, everyone's parents, and you wonder, what can I do? And you see there's nothing. Nothing you can do. Plus, when you have some fucked up government like the Prime Minister of Canada that is ruining everybody's lives and limiting freedoms and coming up with all these stupid cockamamie rules that affects visiting rights to your parents when they're in a care center for some bullshit that they just wanted to make money and fool people and harm people with all that vaccinated vaccination garbage. I can't see her, so I can only see her when she can come outside of the building in the cold, which that can't happen every. So I can't be with her at least a few hours a day. So these are what bothers me. That there are assholes in the world. All they're thinking about sucking up to someone's shoes to be considered some goody member of that corrupted society of the Klaus Schwab and the rest of the clan criminals. Anyhow, that was my rant for today. Let's go. Let's go on for the next. And it says, okay. Kao says she didn't even have the courtesy to share everything with me and kept it hidden from me and only revealed it before her final days of before marriage. Yeah, okay, that was bad of her, dishonest. Should have told you that she's with somebody else and not, keep lingering because she's a calculating woman, if you can understand. She didn't want to burn the bridge that because she said maybe the marriage wouldn't work and she wouldn't want to have lost you, which makes her an opportunist, not an honest woman to be with. So, again, right from that example they just told me, it proves to you that's the woman that you want to be away from in miles. And you lucked out. That, in fact, this is who she is. That she didn't even have a decency and honesty and a respect for the relationship that you guys had, for the time that you guys spent with each other, to let you know that she's with somebody else or she's considering marrying somebody else, yet still string you along. That tells you about her character. So, do you still want to be with a woman like that? A woman who can think that way, manipulate for her own benefit, just in case this didn't work. There is a side game, plan B I have, spare tire. You want to be with someone who considers these calculations for her own benefit and she's not really in love. I bet you she's neither in love with you nor in love with that one. She just sees the meal ticket and that's where she's conjuring up her decisions. That's unfortunate, very unfortunate. So, okay, enough of that. Kao, get over it. Move on. You already know that she's a scumbag with all these behavior, and you can't be disrespecting all other wonderful, amazing women out there and just stick to her ass while she's not worth it with your own, evidences. So go on and respect and appreciate other women who are out there genuinely with good feeling and honesty, and you know, make a better choice next time. And we have Aaron Suijmes says, hello, Meran. I have this problem that I am always talking back to my head because my mind keeps telling me that I'm looking weird and I'm acting gay and that I'm walking weird, etc., etc., etc. So basically, Everything a human does, my mind tells me that I'm doing it weird. So what? You're focusing on what the mind says instead of focusing on what the mind is. Hmm? You've already somehow, by some bullshit idea, accepted that your brain is your intelligence, that the brain is credible. And that's why these things annoy you or makes you react to it and try to prove to the brain what you are, what you are not, and accept what the brain's suggestion or images or ideas or thoughts are actually credible. Why? Brain is an organ, it's not an intellect. In fact, in the examinations that Dr. Penfield, who has operated on over 1,000 brains in 1970s or 60s, you know, once you cut into the skull, the brain itself, there are no pain nerves in there. So you can't feel the pain. So often, surgeons, for their discoveries, the patient was awake and was guiding them when they would do the probes to get reactions and information while they were experimenting. Mm? And they could find, um, they could stimulate occipital point in the back of the head, and there could be some maybe a reaction in the vision, some light or something. They could stimulate some motoring part of the brain, and maybe a limb would move. So they could establish, they could localize motoring or movement of the hand or a limb. They could localize, let's say, what could stimulate the eyesight. Um, or they could stimulate some parts that it would make a person, the patient, make a noise, make a sound that was speech center. So they could localize speech center. But they could never localize compassion center. They could never localize math center. They could never localize political opinion center. They could never localize love center. They could never localize intelligence center, which means there's something above the brain that does all these things. And that's your awareness. So they understood that there are aspects of the brain, there are aspects of mind and you that the brain cannot even reach, because mind and brain are different. It's not the same thing. And there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot even reach. So you're above the brain, yet you have accepted the brain to be credible and the source of information or knowledge or intellect. That's why you're bamboozled and you're responding to all these questions. All it has is that intrusive thoughts. It's a glitch of OCD, malfunction of the signaling system of the brain, and you're considering that. It's funny that every part of our body, we understand that it can malfunction. Our intestine could malfunction, you can have a diarrhea. Hmm? Your muscle could malfunction, let's say, or your liver could, an organ, your liver could malfunction, and your kidney could malfunction, and the GFR, the numbers, and could change, and then you got to get remedy, or you got to, maybe you're dehydrated or something like that. So you understand all the malfunctions of different things that they can get sick. You can get a cold, catch a cold, and so on. But you have a hard time understanding that the brain is also an organ and it malfunctions. The signaling system can malfunction. And intrusive thoughts is a malfunction. And you don't study all that, you just take it that as if it's really the way it is. So, first you have to understand that what is bringing these questions to you is the part that is malfunctioning. So, ignore them. And then, of course, remember the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz that I've already shared with you in a video, which I'm going to put the link up here, and also the 4 steps in the way of text, which whenever you have an appointment with me on Skype, I will add that few pages of the Dr. Schwartz 4 step text for you to be able to read it whenever you want to refer to it and use it to rewire your brain from intrusive thoughts. and how to rewire it is clearly explained. Let me get that video for you and put the link here so you can watch it at your leisure. So we just, or you can go to my YouTube channel, and in my search engine, search for 4 steps, and that will come out as explaining Dr. Schwartz the 4 steps for OCD sufferer. So on that note, I take that link and put it on here for you, for your reference and review at your leisure. And we have, good, next we have, Aaron says, I'm not gay. I know I'm not, but it's weird, etc. Well, that's what HOCD is. It's just a glitch in the signaling system of the brain. It's got nothing to do with your gender. But again, because you think the brain has any intellect or is got accuracy or knowledge of some kind, then people fall for that. They actually believe the thoughts that appear in their heads where it is just a malfunction. Brain makes thoughts 80, 90,000 times a day. You're not going to be analyzing every one of them. And every single one of them are irrelevant to you. It's got nothing to do with your desire for that train of thoughts to show up or suggestion or images. Brain has its own thing. Look, there are two people who are using two things. They're using the brains as an apparatus. One is you, your awareness that uses the brain to make thoughts or conjure up something, calculate something, learn something, and design something, invent something, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Then, when you're not using the apparatus of the brain itself uses its own apparatus and creates thoughts that are irrelevant to you. It just picks up things that have somehow seeped into your consciousness through events of the world and the happenings and existence of things and conditions and lifestyles and whatever it is in the world that you have come to know about it through mediums and so on and so forth. It picks up by random anything that it can, and then, of course, affected by the amygdala, overactiveness of the amygdala, the fear and the protection center and all that, and also the things that you are not desiring is against your values and wants to protect you, but it's gone rogue and it doesn't really know what to do. It just exaggerates and brings it to your attention and makes up thoughts, and all those thoughts, none of those thoughts are relevant to you, and you have no knowledge of or request for them to be born. But that's what the brain does. And you're thinking that the brain is intellect and does these things because or from a certain kind of a knowledge or intellect is bogus. It's futile. Don't do that. So to understand that and deal with that, understand there's no credibility where all these things and questions comes to you. And the rest of it is on the videos, or again, you can make an appointment with me at mindthatseekstruth.com and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And Tatiana has no question that I can see. Tatiana, 23, Los Angeles. And Naz, we said hello. And Lygia says, Lygia here, Venezuelan. Oh, but living in Brazil. Ah, I see. By the way, Lygia, I did see your appointment, and I have responded, but I haven't received your response yet. Look at your Skype. Once I woke up, I saw it, and I've sent you a message acknowledging your appointment and suggested today, which is possible at 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon, if I don't have a chance to go and see my mom. Otherwise, tomorrow at 1 p.m. So you can take a look at your um, Skype and respond to me. So I'll know. Where were we? And Lydia says, I set a one-on-one appointment for next week. Oh, for next week. Oh, um, let's see. Oh, okay. I guess I mistaken you with somebody else when I first read that. Okay, so okay, that's Lygia. That's right. Well, I've responded to you. So if it's not working for you, let me know on the Skype. What are your preferred days? Then I'll see my schedule and I'll confirm with you on Skype later after the. All right. And Seb says, Mehran, how can you deal with triggers that never bothered you before HOCD? Well, the fact is, so what? What trigger? The fact that you're looking for conclusion is why triggers work. Otherwise, when you realize that life is not about conclusion, it's about observing and go. Like, if I'm walking in the street and there's a dust coming, I see the dust. I recognize it's a dust. I don't want to breathe it. It's not good for me. It's not healthy for me to be in that environment. So I go into a store somewhere or I just dodge it and just let that patch of dust pass by or hold my breath and go. I don't try to say, oh, there's a dust. Where does it come from? Why did it rise? Where did it originate? What is it going to do? What should I do? Should I breathe it in fire? Just all these seeking conclusion is what the problem starts. Just dodge it, ignore it, move away instead of going into and getting all smothered by it, thinking that I'm dealing with it. No, it's not a war. Nobody's attacking you or your family to have to go head to head with it. I'm brave. I'm dealing with it. Dealing with what? Somebody's throwing out shit to you. What do? I'm brave. I'm dealing with boom. You just dodge it and just don't pay attention, ignore it, and go. It's shit. Same thing. These intrusive thoughts are just not in line with your values. So why are you trying to make any sense out of it? Just because it was uttered by the brain, and the brain is the almighty, so I have to make a meaning out of it. No, it's shit. It's a glitch. It's malfunction. It's like you're walking in the street, you see dog poo there. You don't go and poke it. Let me see what it is, what the dog ate, what kind of a dog is it. No, it's a shit. You move on. Or it's a puddle there. You don't jump into, oh, it's a puddle. Let's see how deep it is, how dirty it is. What is it going to do to my pants? No, you're going to jump over it. You're going to ignore it. And that's how you ignore it. That's why the four steps of Dr. Schwartz is made for this, to help you to rewire your brain by understanding the steps that you take when these intrusive thoughts show up. And then you rewire your brain through neuroplasticity. It's a process that you should do. So your brain, after a while, automatically will do that because you're remedying the malfunction and retraining the brain to react to these intrusive thoughts as their thoughts. Thoughts, you allow them to exist. When they say accept the thoughts, that doesn't mean accept what the thought is meaning to you. It means accept that thoughts can exist. I don't have to stop it. I don't have to resent it. I don't have to fight with it. I don't have to make it disappear. No, okay. An image of somebody is, I don't know, doing some, undesired, unwanted, uninvited nonsense to something, someone you love, or to you, or you doing to that. Okay, it's a thought. No, he's doing, oh, according to my culture, according to my gender, that is unacceptable. Yeah, yeah, you know it. What do you want a conclusion for? It's like you walk and somebody utters some kind of a nasty word. What are you supposed to go? Oh, I shouldn't have heard that. You actually said that, and I heard it. That's nonsense. You should. What do you want to do? Say some shit, and you walk on. There's no effect on you. So thoughts showing up, there's no effect on you. It's a thought. The only power in the world that can turn any thought into any actuality, reality, or action is not the brain and it's not the thought. It's you. So you're in total control. Regardless of what thought shows up, you're the one who can let it die by the wayside or see if it's useful and do something with it or do nothing with it. So you're in total control. There's no fear from these thoughts. Let the thought comes. Whatever thought wants to be. It can't do a shit. It annoys you, but you should then after a while learn that these are like non-existent bullshit. It's like you see some kind of a shape in the clouds and then get scared of it because it looks like a lion. Oh my God, I should run. No, you realize it's a cloud and it's the wind that caused it to look like that. I don't give a shit about it. So what? I look somewhere else. That's how you deal with it. But you're looking for conclusion. I should stop it from ever forming. Well, this is the world. Anything can exist, anything can come and go, and the brain can also make all kind of shit because that's what it does. Its job is to make thoughts. It doesn't know. It's not an intellect. It's not smart. It just makes whatever thoughts. And you should deal it just like that. That's all. It has no power. You have the power. So you choose or no. Why? Because that's our power. We live by our choices and vetoes, not by suggestions, thoughts, and ideas that the brain conjures up. No, it's got no power. I have the power of choice and vetoes, regardless of what thoughts or images show up or whoever suggests anything to my street. If that was the case, if you would be scared of all these suggestions, thoughts, then you should suddenly change your whole lifestyle just because somebody said something in the street. You're supposed to what? Comply? The guy says something to you that is contrary to your identity or contrary to your lifestyle or interest. But what are you supposed just because it was uttered, it should mean something? You become that? No. Same thing with the brain. So what? Brain is like somebody out there. It's not you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. So what is the fear? Let it say whatever it wants to say. No conclusions. Observe. Okay, that's the debris in the air. I like my nose has filters. The hair in it doesn't let the debris to be breathed in. So I filter. Something comes in. Okay, that's bullshit. I don't care. Uh-huh. That's the end of it. But you deal with it, conclude it, analyze it. Why does it here? Oh, I'm so good. I'm so perfect. It should. We're all perfect, and none of us are perfect. But being perfect or not perfect, it's not an issue at all. It shouldn't be an issue, and it's not definitely nothing to do with the kind of thought that showed up. It's not gonna. Thoughts don't define you. Your choices define you. Your actions, your choices, your vetoes. That's all. So relax and watch the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz. I have put the link up there. All right. Excessively says trying to close the door on breakup, but she's in most of my dreams. Oh, you're horny. That's all. There's nothing else in there. It's just literally wake up with her on my mind. Yeah, because it's simple. All day light, you're thinking of her. So when you sleep, the thoughts that you've had so much during the day, whether it's intrusive, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's about money, whether it's about your troubles, whether it's about your luck, whatever it is, you've been constantly thinking about it all day long. So that's the most active receptors that the two ends of the um, neurons have created a bridge because you constantly be thinking about it, and that's become more of those neurons available. So when you sleep, they're still active because that's all you thought all day long. It's like you keep playing piano all day long or keep playing chess all day long. I used to play chess a lot. From the moment I would open my eyes, I had a computer just beside me, I would play. And the last moment I want to sleep, I was playing. And often I would dream about knights and bishops and rooks and what combinations they're doing. What does that mean? That I'm a chess? What? Because you've constantly been stimulating the brain with that kind of a scenario, and then it reacts and reflects when the brain is calm in ripples of its movements and you're sleeping, then these ones that you've been working on all day will come to the surface and become very visible in your dream. There's no mystic to it. So you think about this girl all the time. Oh, I want her. Oh, got a hard on for her. So on. So okay, you keep doing that. When you sleep, you wake up with her. First thing in your mind is her. It's normal. It's nothing. Nothing mystic about her. I wish I could make the process and heartache period go faster. It's not a heartache. You make it heartache. Why do you have to be sensitive about it? Listen, guys and girls, she left you or he left you. Why would you want to entertain someone who doesn't want to be with you? What? She chose to left. That's her prerogative. I don't want somebody who doesn't want me. Bye bye. That's it. It's your choice. You want, stay in there. Ravi Kumar C says, Hi Meran, 30 male India. Thank you for that. Ravi Kumar says, My girlfriend was married to someone few years ago. I went through if lots of trauma and recovered. What trauma? Why trauma? You culturally been told that the girl should be virgin and coming out of a wrapping paper. That's bullshit. That's fucked up. She's a woman. You're a man. You want to have sex before marriage. That's your natural hormones acting on it. She wants to have sex also before marriage. I mean, it's the natural reaction of a human being. But you've been told and conditioned all your life that the woman shouldn't have been married before. Who the fuck are you? That suddenly you can do whatever you want to do, but the woman should not have been married. What happens to her if she gets married and then marries someone else? What happens? But she's no good anymore. The humanity is gone because she got married. So if that's the case, why would people get married? They don't know they're going to stay with the guy or not, and the guy doesn't know if they're going to stay with the girl when they get married. So why did they marry at all? If the fact that if they divorce, that would mean they're no longer a human being. So why would they divorce? Because why would they get married? Because they could never tell if it's going to last or not. They get married hoping things will work out. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, still okay. You marry somebody else because that would not be your match. Maybe somebody else is. So this idea of you thinking that because she was married, you had a trauma. What? Your trauma was that you imagine, oh, she's getting rammed with her husband. Yeah, that's what they do. They get married to fuck each other. What did you expect? You're trying to delete that portion of her life, which is not normal. You get married because you want to have sex and you like each other. You want to be together. And that emotion is fine. There's nothing wrong with that emotion. But you make it sin because now she's not with him. Now she's with you, and you think I'm the best dick in the world. I'm the best of the best. I am the top of the world. Nobody's better than me because we are all selfish. So therefore, we think I must have the one that nobody has touched. Haven't you been touched? Haven't you slept with girls? So if having been touched sexually by a girl in your case and by a guy in her case is not good, then you're no good either. If you think of it fairly, it's just a cultural stupidity that made us have this dogma. She had a boyfriend and you had a girlfriend. Okay. She was married, didn't work out. What do you want her to do? Stay in hell? Sure, she got divorced. Didn't you? Don't other people get divorced? Most people get divorced anyhow. So stop. Change your understanding, and it'll be fine. And says, went through the trauma and recovered. While I was depressed, depressed for what? For something that she didn't do anything wrong. She got married. What did you want her to do? What did she do wrong? She got married. So what? Just like she got married to you. Is it bad? No, that's what she did. Says, I was depressed. She was happily engaged to someone and never when thought the separation phase. I don't understand what that means. Now she divorced, asking me to marry again so young. What's wrong with that? She is a human being. She has all the right in the world to have the right companion, right partner, right man. And she thought maybe that's the right guy. She got engaged or she got married and then realized that No, it's not. Because you can't tell a person's personality and habits and lifestyle and mentality by just looking at them. Oh, they're dressed nice, so they must be a good person. No. If you think that when you get married because they look good or they're dressed nice or they're wealthy or rich or whatever, and then you get married and say, oh, they're a piece of shit. Why? Because people are the content of their consciousness. They're not how they look. It's important how they look to each person differently, but they also must be important what their consciousness is all about. Are you compatible or not? And when you get together and living together and get to know each other, then you know that that consciousness was actually compatible with yours or not. And when she found out that it's not one way or another, she divorced. How could you have known that you're blaming her for what? You'd be lucky she asked you. She's a nice girl and she's good looking to your taste, and she's allowing you to get to know her. And what's wrong with that? Asking you to marry, it's like you're blessed. Says, if I continue this relationship, will it be good for me? It depends if you can get the shit out of your head or not. You want to live like the people who have shit in your head about this cultural garbage and dubbing some wonderful lady as an asshole or wrongdoer because she got married or engaged or thought this person is suitable for him and then for her, and then later on found out he's not. Is that her guilt? How the fuck do you know who's good for you or not? Can you tell what's in the closed envelope? She couldn't tell what's in that guy's brain or how he's going to treat her until she found out and she didn't like it. There's no other chance. How would you have known? Everybody's at their best and looking and talking nicely until they get into each other's pants, and then they reveal their real true self. Well, that's what that guy probably did, or that's what she did, or however they were not matching, and she found out and she got divorced. So what the hell? What is her guilt here? Wouldn't you divorce with a woman if you find out after getting married with her that she's just a fuck up? She doesn't, meet your standards, and she doesn't even meet how she represented herself before marriage. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, no, I have to stay. No, you're gonna divorce her. Life is short. There's no time for bullshit. So change the shit in here, you'll be fine. She's great, she's nice, she's loving. You're focusing on her body and the fact that she's, I don't know, fucked with somebody. So what the fuck? We're all human beings. We do things, we think, okay, that's what I want to do. We don't think about anything else about it because there's nothing else that we are concerned about at that moment. Because it's not life situation first, it's something you want to do. Later on, you find, oh, that was a mistake. Okay, fine. At the time, you might even know it's a mistake, but for some reason, you do it. Okay. But you're not making, you're not supposed to make a case out of it for nothing. So, Orlando Osuna is here. Says, hello, Meran. Orlando Osuna, 45, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you for that, Orlando. It's been 6 months since my breakup, and I still get upset about the way my ex behaved during our relationship. I feel angry and feel like getting even. Well, you feel angry, but it's not you feeling angry, it's your ego feeling angry. The ego says, I'm you. She behaved this way. Well, so you didn't know. And when you know and she left, now you know that actually you made the mistake to be in that relationship. But how could you know? And we men mostly, works both way, but we men mostly are visual. She shows a pair of legs and pair of boobs, and we're gone. Wonderful. And then later on, you find out that her attitude is not honest, her behavior and lifestyle is not matching you. Then you make a different decision, or both of you make a decision together, or one of you make a decision. Either way, if it was working, it's supposed to be working both ways. Not that it was working for you, but it wasn't working for her. So the fact that she left, she's guilty of that. No, it should work for both of you. And if it doesn't, well, you guys separate. And when you separate, that means it wasn't working. So if it wasn't working, why do you want to be with someone that it wasn't working when you were in a relationship with her? Why are you mad that it didn't work out? Are you supposed to have a crystal ball to know that this would have worked? How do you know? You tried. It didn't work. She was garbage, or you were garbage, or both were, or it was just not compatible. Okay, let's move on. It's not the end of the world. Guys, girls, it's not the end of the world when a relationship doesn't work out because you're not the most wisest and cleverest person in the world to know things before you actually know them. And you get into a relationship for many reasons. One is to know each other, beside all the other perks, the sex and all this and the companion. And all. Okay, fine. But you're getting to know that person through that relationship, and after a while in the relationship, you can see that now I know that person a little bit more. Ain't working for me, or the other side says ain't working for me because we're all human beings. We're all either visual or for certain kind of a psychological security or for certain kind of need or for sexual needs. We get infatuated or involved with someone. But that not necessarily is the actual end results that we're hoping for. And we may end up seeing clear later on that, okay, all the sex and all that is fun, but mentally we are not going to make it. So might as well fuck it. Or somebody is after something and maybe the girl finds someone who's wealthier and says, okay, I prefer to exchange what I'm able to give in this life to something that is more money, not thinking that that money could also be gone. And what are you left with? If the guy is not good, then you fucked yourself pretty much because you're focusing on things that is not really guaranteed. So the only guarantee would be the ability of the persons to dissect and digest and analyze situations in life and manage life in a certain way that is amicable to both, capable of flexibility, cooperation, communication to make things work. But if you let your ego be the leader of that relationship and how you operate, you're fucked. Because the ego is all about selfishness and me, and then doesn't and then end up expecting the girl to be this way, but you can be the other way. Or the girl expects the guy to be a certain way, but she can be doing whatever she wants. You know, two-tier system. All right. Excessively says, I've had enough to know that there is no such thing as a magic vagina. Sorry to report. No, that report is accurate. All right. Orlando Osuna says, I'm doing okay. How come we have two different uh, thumbnail for you, Orlando? Oh, I guess one of them you went through Facebook and the other one. Okay, got it. Says, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I keep a very busy schedule and have a business beside my full time engineering job. Still, the intrusive thoughts still bother me a lot because she cheated on me. Yeah, okay, that's on her, not on you. The fact is, your ego thinks, but the fact that she cheated on you, that hurts you. That changes your credibility. No, you're still the same good person or bad person or whatever person you were before or after she cheated. The cheating part is on her, not on you. So if somebody cheats, then that means she doesn't deserve to be with you. So why would you still want to be with someone who cheats on you? Or why would you think that you're hurt knowing about somebody cheated on you? Did you still want her to be with you with this kind of attitude and characteristics? No. Of course, it's hurtful. I understand that. But once already is a fact that whether it hurts or not, she is that kind of person, cannot be reliable because Nothing, no relationship could ever work or worth working for it, or spending energy and effort on it, if it's not heavily based and has its foundation in trust. So this shows that there's no trust. So what the fuck you want to do with that? Let it go. Just showed you. So now, where are we? We have Shelby. Shelby says, "Hello, Mehran. Thank you for everything you have done for me. You have spent a new path for me, opened a new path for me. I would like to become a psychotherapist through what I have learned while fighting my own problems." All right. It's a very good thing to learn about your psyche and become knowledgeable about. There's so much information out there that you will love it. I think if I knew this is my calling, I would probably maybe study in university in the same field. Or maybe if I did that, then I would be just following the academic approach and never get the chance to express or expand my research into non-conforming as what it is in university. Understanding the depth of the consciousness, where is thought comes from. Where does thought come from? What is the relationship between consciousness and thoughts? How is consciousness put together? What is fear? How is fear born? Where does it come from? What about desire? What are the prerequisites for desire to be born? What are the triggers of desire? How does it work in a relationship? What about ego? What about mechanical process, material process? What is order in life? Where is the brain seeking security? What is psychological security, physical security? How do they come about fulfilling what this entity, which is in two form at least, mind and body, seeks for that psychological security? Is security for mind and body is the same way? All these are things that are not really taught in academic courses in university. These are extracurriculars that the masters and thinkers hundreds of years ago, maybe since Aristotle time and to the modern science time, have come up with. And I had the fortune to thirst for that. I remember I used to come from work, my regular work, and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I would be studying and reading and researching about the masters of 100 years ago and their thoughts and lectures and interviews and understanding. The type of people that the psychologists and psychotherapists would gather around the world, or quantum physics professors would gather around this particular person who was not a academic psychologist, and they would ask their questions from him because his approach was different, and I was drawn to that. I used to walk by the ocean for hours in the middle of the night. Police sometimes would stop me and says, "Sir, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah," and we would start talking, and then I would start attending to their problems. Would become friends. I would walk 2 o'clock in the morning and think about the studies and the research that I did from these scholars, analyze them, understand them, go to deep and reflect it on my own situation, my own psyche, and try to learn about myself. These are very important. Most people in the world, their biggest stumbling block is their own psyche. If they don't understand that machine, then that machine is going to control them to the point that you actually think you're the brain. And then you're totally fucked up because you believe an organ has got no intelligence in it. There's never been a recognition of intelligence center in the brain. They could not localize it, and surgeons could not. And the experiments gone on and on. As I mentioned, Dr. Sperry, Dr. Libet, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owens, all these brilliant neuroscientists, neurosurgeons, their experiences shows that you're not the brain. Brain is not you. And there are aspects of the mind and you that the brain cannot even reach. You're above the brain. So all these are important. So if you want to do that, that's wonderful. All right. And we have, where are we? Um, what was that? Hmm, I lost it. Oh, okay. That's surely okay. Now, excessively says, I don't, okay, we got that. And Ravi Kumar C says, it's hurtful to watch the girl who praising your qualities, asking your opinion, suddenly shift everything in to a new person. Okay, so what? What are you so hung up on what she does? She has the right to do whatever she wants. And you have a choice to make. You want to sit down and cry and crumble, or you want to go on and find another one that suits you well. It's up to you. All right. Defender of Justice says, sorry, was in the shower. Okay. Too much information. Did I need to know that? I'm 39, male USA. And yes, my truck driving test was driving and inspection. I already passed the written portion for the permit. Now, what does it say about me that I have a fear of failure? No, you just don't have enough practice outside. It's like somebody plays the violin at home and is doing a great job. But as soon as there are spectators that they're watching you, just too concerned about what they think about his playing. That's why he fucks up. You need to focus on the job rather than the person who's going to cue you or is going to affirm you or is going to approve you. None of that shit. Focus on the road. Focus on what is the most reasonable and logical thing to do in that particular situation. Not about how to impress, to be right or wrong. You're focusing on being right or wrong. Just focus on what the question is and what is the safest way to deal with that thing. That's all. You're not a failure. Stop that shit. Bruce Lee said the biggest stumbling block and biggest obstacle in any man's is their own brain. And it's true. You're cutting yourself down for nothing. And Rod Buck says, keep up the good work, Mehran. Been following your channel for 4 years. Well, thank you, Rod. Thank you for the good, kind words. Appreciate that. And Rod, let me know where you're tuning in from and how old you are. Appreciate that. Khalid Muhammad says, hi, how are you? Thank you, Khalid. And let me know your age and where you're tuning in from, Khalid. And Richard H says, male 25, Denmark, says, hi, Miran. My girlfriend broke up with me 2 days ago. She told me to leave her alone, and so I did. Did not reach out to her in any way. Tonight, she has started to text me again sending heart emojis and so on. And she also wrote that she wants to talk on the phone tomorrow about her future plans and feelings. What should I do? Meet with her. What do you want to do? What do you want? She's a woman. You like her. She was with you. She said, don't call me. You didn't. You respected it. Now she says, let's talk. Well, let's see what she says. You don't have to make a decision. Just see what she says. If she makes sense, if she's going to give you some kind of a values and affirmation, or maybe some kind of a somewhat guarantee, as long while there's no guarantee in anything, somewhat of a guarantee that she's going to be an appropriate, inappropriate relationship or behave or treat you as good as you treat her, well, then you'll decide. But to talk and communicate, no problems. What's wrong with that? Unless you're thinking that she's responsible for your ego to be hurt and you want your ego to be fluffed. So you want to push her away to show that I am somebody because you told me don't talk to me. So I'm not talking to you. Oh, no. People change their minds, and women could have different moods and different things, and they feel insecure, they could feel good, they saw somebody that maybe has, I don't know, more opportunities or whatever it is turns them on in one way or another, and they had a glitch, and now they went and saw it from close by and they saw, oh, that's no goodie, no biggie, and it's just bullshit. So they came to their senses and they think you're better. Okay, she may do the same thing again a few times, so you'll see. If she does it a couple of times, then say, okay, bye bye. But for now, talk to her, see what she says. Maybe she has some explanations. Maybe it would be understandable. But just nothing goes wrong by just discussing, especially someone that you had a relationship with. And Lygia Garcia says, okay, I will look at the Skype. Yeah, okay. I put two kind of options, either today after the live or tomorrow at 1 p.m. Vancouver time, which will be, I think, what are you, 3 hours ahead of time, ahead of me? 4 hours. I think that would be 5 p.m. your time. You're in Brazil, aren't you, Lydia? Yeah. So check it out and let me know, and we'll hash it out for and detail the appointment. Aaron Sue says, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm Aaron, and whatever negative thing on my brain says is irrelevant to me. Yes, it is, because you're not the brain, and brain is not you. You just got to learn to help it out. It's a brain. You got to help it, not to take direction from it. Brain is an idiot. And Richard says, I want her back. I was the one who screwed up since I have problems with alcohol. And this is the biggest reason for her to breaking up with me. I'll talk to her tomorrow, but don't know what to say. Face your fears. Whether she wants you back or not, whether she's willing to, whatever it is, the alcohol is not good for you. We all know that. In the old times, they would say if you have one glass of wine or one glass of beer a day, it's even good for you. It's not true now. Now the scientists have found out that even one drop of it, it kills your brain cells, and your liver is have to detoxify it, and it's a toxin. It's a toxin. It's a poison. It makes you feel good, but many other things make you feel good too. Doesn't mean they're good for you. Always remember in life, it's not enough that it makes you feel good. You got to focus on the fact what makes you feel good, is it also good for you? Not everything that is making you feel good is also good for you. It's something that you got to be really focused on. So, so talk to her, and you focus on getting rid of the alcoholism. Don't, not for her, for you. You want to live? You like this life? You want the adventures? You want the opportunities? You got to be here to experience all that. So stop drinking. Simple as that. All right. And if you feel that she says that, I don't know if you're going to be drinking or not, well, then if you like her, sacrifice some bad habits. I promise her that you'll take care of her by taking care of yourself. Keep yourself healthy for her. She wants to be with someone who can count on, has a sound mind and sound body. So you got to do something about it. You can't just have her there and just do whatever the hell you want to do as far as these sort of things. Jose Capriela, what? Caraballo. Jose Caraballo Rivera says, am I in mind or what? Am I in my mind? No, 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 no. Don't get on that one. That's bullshit. You're the awareness, right? And then the difference between mind and brain is obvious. You can find it in my videos on my channel. What's the verses? Am I in my mind? On my mind? Okay. Now, Dunder Milfin. Oh, that must be Sophie. Dunder Milfin. This is Pam. Says, "Hey, Mehran, it's Sophia. Happy to see you again. Happy, dear, to see you as well here. And it's been a long time." Says, "How are you doing? It's been a while." Yes, it has, hasn't it? How are you doing? Hope everything is going well for you. You're in Peru, are you? Am I mistaken? Now remind me your age and your location. And Aman Gatpalis, he says, ever, why can't, why I can't get over of toxic girls whom I know gonna play with me, but I run after them. I don't know what kind it is. They're not toxic. They are insecure and they're looking for someone to affirm them. One of the ways they feel confident about themselves is to see how many guys are running after them. So they're not really sure what they're looking for. They just want confidence. They want affirmation. They want approval. So they're the kind of girls that they will do weird things just to get attention of other guys. And that's how what makes them feel important or strong. So you got to notice it. You will learn as you grow on. You're just 20 years old. You will learn that, well, that's a girl I should avoid. And this is a girl I should maybe spend time with or respect or get to know. So and if you're constantly running after the girls that you know they're doing that, well, that's on you. Change that. Otherwise, you're going to go and mess up the rest of your. Okay, guys, I have answered all the questions. You guys know that I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. I put the link up there, down there. I'll do it again. www.mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on the site and make an appointment for a Skype consultation, a Skype chat in regards to what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. So it's time for me to say thank you very much for being here. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.
But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing, again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.